Alright, let us begin. Ladies and gentlemen, I am doing this incredibly late, which is probably a mistake, but fuck it, we're doing this anyway. Cold Steel 4. If you want to know why it's taking me so long, I'm literally recording this the night before it's supposed to go live. This game left me broken. This thing only had 21 sessions. What's worthy of note is a lot of those were long sessions. I mean, for God's sakes, this game has my record breaker for the longest session that I have ever done, which is 10 and a half hours. And the only reason it was that long, and not just under 9 hours, was because of an insanely long goddamn cutscene at the end of Act 2. So it's like, oh my god. I don't even remember what session number that was, and nor do I care to look it up right now. So, yeah. So, 21 sessions, no cheats unless you count turbo mode. Moving on. Also, I am fighting off a cold right now. Please forgive me. First positive, so let's start with the story. This game did score net positive on both axes. 53, obviously, for story, and then gameplay was like 21 or something like that. But regardless, yeah. Which is funny, because Reverie is actually doing a hell of a lot better. They're on both axes. I mean, the frickin' story of Reverie is frickin' sitting in, like, at bare minimum the 70s or 80s at this point. Actually, I think net it may be sitting at over 100. I can actually look at that right now. Let's see. Excuse me. 27 codified, and how many potentials do I have over here? Is this on random? This is not on random. Whatever. We will just hit the random button, the shuffle button for that. Let's see. I'm not playing this. No, I'm not. Okay, cool. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16. Well, I guess I can just take a peek at switch over to here. Boop. That's Reverie's. That's where I am in Reverie right now. So yeah, it's basically just under 100 for the story, and then the gameplay is sitting at about 60 something. So, to give you a bit of perspective there. This thing has a lot of positives, but a lot of negatives too. And that is the big problem with it. Anyways, moving on. So the backstory segment. This is a good song, by the way. That, of course, is the cast list opening. What you heard first was the opening, and we'll get to it. Alright, so the backstory segment, always a good feature. Humor, once again, triple positive for the humor. Once the humor started to get going, it was on point. Right. And it didn't feel jarring, which was actually good, you know? No Devil May Cry effect positive this time. But that's because I don't think it balanced it very well. Again, as I've said before, nothing to bitch about. The Devil May Cry effect will never be a negative. Well, unless I actually find something that literally screws it up so royally, right? I'm usually not that picky with it because it's fucking difficult to do. Like, oh my fucking god, is it hard to do, right? Voice acting. It's once again well done most of the time. This is one game that only got one voice acting positive because when the voice acting is on point, it's great. When the voice acting sucks, it's the replacement actor for Lecter and McBurn. I mean, no disrespect to that voice actor, really, but good fucking lord. 2 brickwork positives, 3 sprite work positives. Storyboarding, because when it's on point, it is really on point. 2 animation positives, as there is a lot of good animations on display. 2 positives for visual storytelling, so that's good. Doodad usage was a positive. External continuity got, in which I'm just going to go ahead and spoil now, got both a triple positive for its use of external continuity and a triple negative. This is the game that established that certain aspects can get both triple positives and triple negatives. So, there you go. Active voice, another triple positive, because of course it is. Foreshadowing, when it actually decides to be good, is good. You're going to be hearing that a lot, by the way. Hey, in these positives, when it's there and when it's good, you know? So, good gameplay story integration, down-to-earth side quests, which I honestly did not think I was going to give, but I ended up giving. Which is a positive I don't think Reverie is going to get, mostly because they kind of de-emphasize side quests in Reverie, which is actually kind of a good thing, admittedly. The paired victory quotes, notes, and party flavor. Paired victory quotes, party member flavor, NPC chatter, header, all got positives. Banter was a double positive. And the theme of overcoming the curse of Erebonia with love and understanding is, well, greatly used throughout the game, even if the curse of the curse of Erebonia is used as a crutch most of the game. Most of the narrative, I should say. Now for some characters. Basically, most of these are just, the characters are awesome. Estelle, Joshua, Lloyd, who got 2 positives, and Kia. I'm not going to beat around the bush, I'm not going to waste time. They are well written in this game. Maribel. Hell. She is as delightful and mischievous as ever, and, well, some people don't like... I have heard some people say that they don't like that she became, she became disinteresting after she became a villain. I disagree. I actually think it's kind of interesting to kind of see her morph into it. I understand if you don't, but... that's where I am. with Maribel. Uni remains my favorite character in the whole series and got triple positive. We'll be talking about some of her scenes throughout the game. Kurt, Altina, Randy, Laura, Elisa, Fee, Sarah, Gaius. All got a single positive each. Again, not going to waste my time too much. They're all good characters, in my opinion, and well done, well written in this game. Machias was well written enough to get 2 positives, in my opinion. There was some good stuff done with Machias, weirdly enough. Elliot, Emma, Eustace, and Ash were all positives. Excuse me. Rutger. I actually find Rutger to be well written. Muse really shows her chops right from the get-go, and I do actually think she is a well-written character. I may find her obsession with Reen a bit annoying, but you know what? I can look past that, right? Josette continued to be awesome. It showed her growth. And was actually given more opportunity to show her growth since the Sky Trilogy, which is what Cold Steel 3 unfortunately lacked. That's why she didn't get a positive back in Cold Steel 3. Yuna's parents, Lena and Matthew Crawford, got a positive each. Like I said, like I said back in Cold Steel 2, I like understanding parents, so there you go. I should really actually give those two. I should really give Yuna's dad a positive in Reverie, because he's awesome in Reverie. Anyways. Now here's one that shocked the hell out of me. And will actually require me to do some explanation here. Yeah. Okay. Duvalie. I have been railing against Duvalie this entire series. Since Cold Steel 2, I have been bitching about her. Bitching. Right? She gets a positive here, and spoilers, she gets one in Reverie. Why? Well, my note here says it all. No, because this is the first time this happened, was here in Cold Steel 4. Duvalie is interesting for the first time in the whole series. She questions Aryan Rhodes' motives, and that causes her to break away from the Stalrearer, and that honestly works for me. It also helps that it makes sense that she still cares about the Stalrearer. Also, Aryan Rhodes understanding her confusion helps, because Aryan Rhodes doesn't treat it as betrayal. This is, I need to figure this out. And she understands. She's like, yep, no, I get it. I approve. Go do it. Do it. If it'll help you, I'm here for it. Right? Crow got a triple positive. Crow and Reen both got triple positives. Crow for being a bro. Oh, and I do actually like his growth. Patrick, once again a triple positive. Speaking of characters that I've previously bitched my head off about earlier, he's as awesome as he was in Cold Steel 3. I actually felt like an idiot when I realized I hadn't given this triple positive yet, which was when I went to go finish off the Alan side quest. More on that later. I love it. And quite frankly, I think Rean needs to get his fucking stick out of his ass and let Patrick date Elise already. Yes, I fucking said it. At least if Patrick can woo Elise enough, maybe we can stop that whole incest angle. You know, or we could just get the writers of Reverie to actually write for her. That works too. Anyways, yeah. Patrick's a triple positive. Toa, triple positive. I really don't feel like I need to explain this. Agate. I love that he is consistently being awesome throughout the series, and this is why I will never deny him a positive. Positive in every game where he's awesome. Like, he literally shows up and he's just like, yeah. Oh, you guys need into Dreknor Fortress? Well, I need into Dreknor Fortress. Alright, let's go. Oh, no dickishness, no, oh, you just leave this to me, I'm better than you. No, none of that. He's like, oh, you need it, you're going to break into Dreknor Fortress? I got your back, let's go. I like that. You know, maybe his infiltration of Dreknor was just to get Tita back. But you know what? I think at this point, we can safely say that Sky One Agate is gone and never coming back. Thank fuck. One moment. My apologies. Having a cold really sucks. General Craig and Nightheart. I really like them. I really like them as characters. Needless to say. Tita. Yeah. Just Tita. Triple positive. Need I say more? Alphen. Oh, my heart goes out to Alphen in this game. Holy shit. Triple positive for her. Tio, Chloe, Cassius, and Cassius all got positives because yes. McBurn. You know, McBurn is honestly nice. It's honestly nice that even McBurn hates the formulaic nature of this narrative. Okay, jokes aside, he is well characterized in this thing. Even if his VA in this game is not very good. I hate to say that. So that's it for characters. Now we get on to scenes. So speaking of things that are triple positives and triple negatives, the scene where Una confronts old Class 7 about Reen's birth father, or being Osborne. It is as fantastic as it is stupid as fuck. Una's inspiring words kicking Class 7 out of their complacency, which they shouldn't have been in the first place. Nice, but we'll touch on that in the negatives. It's a great demonstration of her character, and triple positive for that, yes. I like the scene where the new Class 7 restores Ash's confidence. That was a good scene. Shows how much Una, Altina, and especially Kurt have grown up to this point, so that's good. I actually like Zephyr offering Ash a job with them. That was actually kind of a nice touch. Not one he would take, but it was still kind of cool. I like the aftermath of the mech battle against Sector and Hummel. With the whole showing that Zector's sword got damaged. It's just from Yuna and Ash fighting him, which is actually pretty impressive, right? And then old Class 7 showing up, It's marred by Gilbert's dickishness and stupidity, but, at least Zephyr were like, well, we could just kill this stupid fuck. Part of me wishes they had, and part of me wishes they hadn't. But we'll get to that later. The meeting with Muse, really like that. Also, the rebuttal Class 7 has for Muse. Hey, for her whole plan thing. Good stuff. Muse calling in Kurt Spiegel. Eagle when Cedric shows up and whips out Testarossa. The Divine Knight, even though he does technically whip out both of them because, Shirley's right. Shirley's in there, so there's that. She really does plan for everything, doesn't she? Anyways, the aftermath of the battle with Testarossa. That was cool. I like Class 7 convincing Muse to join them in rescuing Ring. That's cool. And this was the point where I finally gave a humor plus. Yes, it took that long. By the way, 2/3 of the way into Act 1. For the record. That's how long it frickin' took. So. And then the next scene I like is Yuna reuniting with her family. Emily, not much else to say there. I like Estelle and Ellie intercepting Sao, Lau, and Zin. And there's just something kind of awesome about how competent they are. It's a nice, if brief, scene. So, and what are you suggesting? Okay, whatever. There. Microsoft Word, they're very picky about grammar. Anyways. Class 7 meeting with Emperor Eugent. That is such a great scene. Eugent not blaming Ash for what happened and how much he is aware. It's definitely a good step forward. Because Emperor Eugent strikes me as neutral and in a good way, right? He doesn't want to go against Osborn, but he also knows that that there are people that are going to try and stop him. And he's not going to stand in the way of the people trying to stop him. So, there you go. General Van Dyke, Hig meeting with Class 7. Another good scene. I like Galen proposing to Bridget, even though it leads to some shenanigans later, but we can get into that later. Meeting with Yuna's dad. That's a good scene. I simultaneously like and hate Arundel's side, Arundel's reason for siding with Osborn, as I feel it makes sense, but it's still a stupid ass fucking reason. So yeah. Okay, so then we had the hype as fuck moment where Estelle, Joshua, and Lloyd show up and save New Class 7 from the Zebra Soldats. And I was like, you know what, I kind of want to call bullshit, but then I remembered the end of Cold Steel 1. And Patter Matter. Yeah, I can't call bullshit on them. Triple positive for that hype moment. One of the first times the narrative actually caught me, which, funny enough, yeah. The farewell scenes at the end of the crossbell section in Act 1, really good, which is the end of Act 1, admittedly, but still. The whole confrontation, and then we cut to New Class 7 confronting Berserker Reen, as I call him. I guess the official title is Sacrifice. He's listed, when you scan him, it's just triple question mark, but that's why I call him Berserker Reen, right? Because he's just in a berserker state. He's nothing but a rampaging beast at that point. So I kind of like it. It's really nice. And then I like the scene where he's made whole again. I know some people mock that scene, but no, I actually do like that because it's an inner battle that they help with. That he's been fighting the whole time. You know? Excuse me. Anyways. I do like the cavalry moment at the end of the Black Workshop. So that's cool. Even if I think that whole ending sequence goes on way too long. I like this scene where Reen wakes up in Eren. Nice heartwarming scene. Reen and Eunice heart-to-heart on Merkaba. That's a nice little scene. I also like the little touch of Altina being jealous. It's kind of a funny thing. This whole game has this whole thing of multiple of the girls confessing their love for Reen, and it's a bit, but I actually kind of like that, so. Then the first rivalry happens, and we save Crow from death. By basically making Ordine subservient to Valimar. I actually kind of like that. It really shows off the friendship between Reen and Crow, and I do like the game just doesn't just kill him off. Right? We brought Crow back. Heck, and then we're just gonna kill him off again. Ugh. Now, it's worthy of note that is what was going to happen at the end. Like, they keep hinting that he's going to die anyway. But I like the loophole that comes of that, so there you go, you know? But yeah, I really like that, and I love that they didn't kill him again just for a shock moment, because that would just be fucking cheap. Cough, cough, Ruby Volume 8, cough, cough. You know? And if you know Ruby, you know what I'm bitching about when I mention Volume 8 of Ruby. Okay? I'm mentioning the assisted fucking suicide. And I know some people are saying, oh, but there was totally a point. Yeah, except why the fuck even bring that character back if you were just gonna kill her at the end of the next volume? When you bring a character back, bring them back. And especially we didn't need the drama of it either. And the way they did it, we didn't need that. Because they already established that this was like literally a one-shot deal. That character goes down one more time, that's it. They're down for the count. Oh, but why would I expect Rooster Teeth but why would I expect the writers of Ruby to remember shit that they wrote? They can't even keep shit consistent within the same volume. And they've got the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing going on all over the goddamn place, but I'm getting way too off topic. Let's veer back. So, Fee's first bonding event, Crow's first bonding event, and Elise's first bonding event, and Sarah's first bonding event. All good stuff. All good character moments. I love the scene with Class 7 sneaking into Direct North Fortress using the same trick used during the Sky Trilogy. Thanks, Celine, for once. Direct North Fortress, just in general, is a fantastic dungeon as a story beat, and it honestly feels like a test against the 4th Armored Division, and I like it. Sorry about that. I like the fight with General Craig and Neidhart on a story level, right? It's less, it's my duty because I'm a fucking moron, and more, or show me you can save us. Excellent storytelling there. Even if they do have to spell it out right at the end, but let's not hold that against them. Love the aftermath of that fight. Machias' first bonding event. Oh, fuck. I loved that one. So good. So good. Good. Where Machias convinces his friend, no, it's okay. Hey, I understand. Really good. Also, the quest that was the callback to Dulnap in Azure. Yeah, I didn't call Bell being behind it, even though I really fucking should have. Nice touch. I admit it. If I was paying attention, I would have caught it. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't catch it. Well done, gang. Well done. I like the scene where Class 7 first enters Leaves again and is hit by a wave of nostalgia. I honestly think it's better handled than the Trista equivalent in Cold Steel 2. I really do. Mostly because they enter, they see their old dorm, and they're just like, oh wow, it feels, we have only been away for like a month or so, a month or two, but it feels like forever. It's like, yeah, I know what you mean. That's nice stuff. That's a nice touch. I actually really like that. Yeah. Muse's second bonding event is a good callback to her club activities, abilities, and a great dive into both her and Reen's characters. It's also not about Reen wanting to bang him, so that's a bonus. Emma's first bonding event, and that's the one where she dives into his soul with that astral projection thing. That's cool. I like that one. Eustace's first bonding event, and fantastic dive into his character and how he saw Milliam as a sister, right? Milliam always likes to tease him with the whole, when my body grows up and becomes super hot, you're gonna be lusting after me, and it's like, and Eustace is just like, knock it off. It's a nice touch, right? And that's why he's so, just rolls his eyes and it's like, oh, for crying out loud. Right? I am not Reen. I will not be lusting after my sister, thank you. Because that's how Eustace views Milliam. It's a nice touch. Elliot's first bonding event. Nice and wholesome. Yeah, it's the power friendship trope again, but it's a good example of it, so I'm with it. The reunions on the Pantagruel. Good stuff. I particularly like the moment where Lloyd acknowledges that the Great Twilight is a setup, and that continues to show Lloyd is observant. That's why he got 2 positives. Because Lloyd's not stupid. He sees the writing on the wall. Yeah, you were tricked into it. Into it. Fuck that shit Blue Wolf is worried about. I'm not going to go into the cliches of you started this, therefore I'm going to look at you like you're a piece of shit, right? You're probably already doing that enough for both of us, aren't you? And of course Reen is the entire game. So, there you go. I like the Mander scenes on board the Pantagruel. A lot of good scenes there. In particular, the Joshua talking about his memories of Ash. I also like the scene that finally explains in depth what the hell Mil Mirage is even going to entail and the severity of the situation. I also gave a triple positive to the responses to Mil Mirage from Lloyd, Estelle, and Reen. Because they basically say, yeah, no, we're not supporting this. This, right? We will find a third solution. And the response is not, oh, you fools, or oh, you naive children. No, it's, yeah, we freaking hope you do, because holy fuck, this is horrible. Horrible. It's a nice touch, and I like it. Reen and Lloyd's fist bump. At the end of the scene that begins the counterattack against the forces invading the Pantagruel. That is such a great moment. Love that. Just like, yeah, we're cool, we're working together, let's do this. Good stuff. Good stuff. Then there's the bathing scene with the guys on the Courageous. As I skip that song because we've already heard it. It's because I didn't have it on shuffle before. So, yeah. Oh, so with the guys on that's a great moment. Then it's not until the whole thing with the moon mirror here, with those scenes showing the entire truth, right? Which helps put so many things into perspective. So that's a good thing. Even if it does lead to some whitewashing, but let's not get into that until we get to the negatives, shall we? So, yeah. The scene where William and Valimar are in Courage Class 7, Evan, that was another triple positive. I like that. Then there's Toa's Act 3 bonding event. Oh, this one hit me. I won't lie. Well storyboarded, well voice acted when it's actually voiced. And very well written, as Toa lets out all of her frustration and fears. Here, lays all of her frustrations and fears bare. It's this kind of character writing that I come to Trails for. So, triple positive right there. Then there's Alphen's bonding event in Act 3. It's one of the best scenes in the entire game. It shows Cedric's hypocrisy in regards to strength, while showing that Alphen has real strength. Love that scene. Triple positive. Rutger's End. Oh, that was a great character moment for both him and Fee. Triple positive there. I need to blow my nose before I explain this next positive. Alright. Okay. I despise Gilbert. But the scene after the fight with him during Operation Free Aaron is as satisfying as the fight is in gameplay. Which is to say, very. Fucker was lucky Campanella still likes him, because I shudder to think what Emma, Vita, and Rose would have done to him. In fact, I'm actually going to pull up the image for you. I have to do this. Let's see. Image. There we go. Okay, I need this folder. I need to scroll down. Yeah, there's a reason why this image was used for one of the thumbnails on the stream. Needless to say. Moving right along. Fee's Act 3 bonding event. Fantastic display of her character and what Rutger meant to her. Even Shirley shows up and is very respectful. That's a nice touch. Crow's Act 3 bonding event is excellent. Excellent at tying together his character growth. And showing that he did indeed care about the Imperial Liberation Front. And the added touch of Scarlet working with Wazi from the Crossbow arc. Yeah, it's a fitting story beat. And we'll even see more of that in Reverie, which is awesome. The Arc and Seal play being used as a diversion in Act 3. Really like that. Leanne's final moment is actually a good send-off for her, even if the way it happened was kind of dumb as fuck, but we'll get to that in the negatives. The scene with Instructor Makarov, Mint, and Schmidt during Eventide, it is honestly freaking hilarious. I love that scene. The scene of Toa scolding Angelica, Crow, and George during Eventide is freaking hilarious. Hilarious too. Crow's final bonding event, good cap to his character. Celine's final bonding event, good cap to her character. Fee's final bonding event, great. Yuna's, great. And Laura's was also great. Eight. All leads very nicely into the romance angle, so there you go. I didn't actually get the final bonding events for the other characters, which probably would be what would increase this score. But hey, that's for a future review, probably sometime down the line if I ever do a New Game Plus run of these games. Not gonna be for a while, just gonna be honest about that. Then there's Reen versus Berserker Reen in his mind. It's a great scene that shows that Reen can overcome his fears, and for me, it's the best scene in the game. Triple positive. Olivier proposing to Shara. Do I even need to explain why I'm giving a triple positive to a payoff to a relationship that I have been fucking championing since Sky 1? And for God's sakes, and I mean that sincerely, I seriously have been rooting for those two to get together since Sky 1. Fuck yeah. It finally happening is just poetry. And the way it's handled in Reverie is also poetry. Well, in the daydreams anyway, but that's beside the point. Moving on. The Uni Romance Scene. I mean, this is where we get to the actual, romance scenes, which is, of course, him meeting with his picked partner at the end of the night. So, I love the Uni one, I love the Altina one, and the Muse one kind of made me go, "Aw, that's awesome," because Muse is caught completely off guard. Elise's would have been perfectly handled and honestly would have gotten 3 positives if Reen's dialogue had been voiced. Why does Reen not talk during the final romance scene? It's so stupid. Ugh. By the way, a good chunk of these would probably get more than 1 positive if Reen was voiced, The Emma romance scene is good. The Fee one is good. The Sarah one is good. Okay, despite Reen not actually being voiced, I actually gave the Toa one and a triple positive because, oh my god, it was amazing and adorable, and oh my god, I loved it to death. I still wish Reen was voiced during these, but oh, it was so good. Hood, right? And, oh, and I also gave the Laura one, but we'll get to that in a minute. Then there's the Alphen one, which is just, I love that. And especially her little apology to Elise, which is just a very nice touch. And then, of course, the Laura romance scene. It's my favorite of the options, no question. Laura's VA, even though it's not Marisha Ray this time, but her new voice actress, who has grown on me, I'm just going to go ahead and admit that. Her new VA is on point during it. It's sweet, it's heartwarming, and it's very well done. Not to mention, I finally get my Reen Laura kiss that I've been craving for 4 whole games now. Yeah, triple positive. Also, that entire Eventide side chapter was a triple positive in and of itself. A nice breather chapter before the final battle, so yeah. Seductive Shudder. Let's just add that to my liked songs. There we go. Alright. And here's the Alan side quest. The scene where Patrick confronts Alan during Alan's side quest really shows how far Patrick has come and how far Alan has fallen. Great stuff. And I love the aftermath of that quest. It's heartfelt, it's funny, and it really shows the amazing growth of the Thor's alumni. Triple positive. Love that scene, no question. In fact, I gave the quest in general a triple positive as well, because that's how much I fucking adore that scene. I love the optional scene with Ren and Harold in the final chapter. I love it. It's a great callback to her past. And I have given a plus to when she met with Sophia and Colin. And I may not have given a plus to when she met with Sophia and Colin earlier in the game. But I can lump that into this positive to compensate because, yeah, I think these optional scenes are just awesome. I like the Ghosts of Hommel side quest. It's wonderfully haunting and a great little treat for those that played the Sky Trilogy, like me. So good stuff. Showdown of the Decade is honestly a great little side story to wrap up Stark's character arc, which was one of the branch campus students, and the one that's from Jirai. So, that was cool. The Ulster Harvest Festival. As much as I did not like the Ulster side quest just before this was actually a nice bit of. This was actually good. 2 scenes, or 2 positives, for that scene. Meeting and restoring Agris, which is the Earth Dragon dude, the one you need to beat and free to get the true ending. Restoring his name is a great scene both before and after the fight. Really like it. I adore the final go time speech. Each being shared with all of Class 7. Oh, that was just so good. I was like, oh my god. If the writing had been on that level the whole time, this would have been one of the best written games ever made, in my opinion. So, triple positive there. Speaking of which, the scene leading up to the fight with Cedric. It's a great scene. Because of Shirley, of all people. She and Kurt get through to him in a way that only they can, and it's kind of weird how in character Shirley is during her pep talk. It's actually kind of funny. I need to think about. It's so good. So. And then I also gave a positive too. After we deal with the rivalry with Testarossa. And Okay, as weird as this might sound, I do not ship. For the record, I don't ship Cedric with Shirley. I think that's just a weird pairing, and I don't think it would work long term, especially considering A, Shirley admits that she's more into girls. Anyway, she's more sapphic. And B, it's more of a little brother thing, but I could actually see that working as a brother-sister dynamic. It's actually kind of nice and sweet. Eustace punching out Rufus after the rivalry with El Prado. That is so damn satisfying after all the shit he's put us through. Hi, Reverie, how you doing? Anyways, Sarah's speech at the final rest area. I actually honestly love it. The wholesome banter, the humor, Sarah's character, all of it adds up to greatness. So triple positive there. Then, Reen finishing off Ishmelga. Oh, hell yeah. Love that. So good. That is such a great cathartic moment. Even if some of the scenes around it are kind of bullshit, but The miracle created by the Divine Knights. Touching moment, love it. The farewells, Hills of Franz and the Divine Knights. That's a great send-off for Valinar. Triple positive. I love the credit sequence with all of the images depicting Oliver and Cher's wedding. Oh, that was so good. That was such a beautiful scene. Triple positive for that. And I liked the post-credit scene where we finally get to see Ouroboros' Grandmaster, who, funny enough, actually made me cock an eyebrow. Oh, believe it or not. And if you're wondering why, well, that's why. Because that is Ouroboros' Grandmaster. So, yeah. Anywho. So, yeah, 238 positives. God damn. But yeah, now it's time to go on to the negatives. Inconsistent voice acting. You know it, you hate it. You hate it, I hate it. Moving on. The recasting. It feels poorly handled. The new actors do a terrible job of their characters, in my opinion, with like one exception, and that's of course Laura, as we have established at this point. Right? But yeah, McBurn and Lecter especially are just, oh my god. And it honestly feels like the casting director and the voice director were asleep at the wheel. And I'm just like, ugh. So, voice direction in this game also got a negative for me because, oh my god. Scene direction also felt wrong to me. It feels wrong way too much, as the decision to not have some bits voiced just honestly feels wrong, right? So, yeah. I gave 3 padding negatives. I gave 3 pacing negatives, because this game's padding and pacing are just horrendous, in my opinion. Too much of this thing feels padded to hell, and the pacing is just all over the place, and it feels like the pacing is just slogging when it shouldn't. The reason I mention these two together is because they go hand in hand. Because the pacing pacing is ruined by the padding that is on display. So the padding kind of fucks over the pacing, which is just, oh my god, you know? There's a lot of scenes that if you cut them down would be substantially improved. And that is not a joke. Also not helped by a triple negative for her empty text and fake drama. As you know, dialogue. I'm not usually one to give negatives for as you know dialogue, but this game was just rampant with it. Because it feels like a lot of people should know this, and it's especially jarring when I mean, in some cases I'm okay with it when it's like, you know, Cold Steel 2 and before, but when it's Cold Steel 3 that they're pulling the as you know dialogue with, it's pretty bad. Triple negative for dialogue pacing, speaking of which. A triple negative for the excessive flashbacks, and a triple negative for cutscene flow. What I mean by this is that specific scenes don't really flow naturally into each other, because what it does is the narrative will start a scene and then we'll flash back to the previous day so that we can explain what the heck the characters are talking about, instead of just letting the scene play out in order like it should. So why doesn't it? You know? So, yeah, no. Not a fan of that. At all. No. Absolutely not. And I'm on the wrong thingy. Give me a second. Okay. And that's the full version of that song. I don't want the full version. Let's just skip to the next. Okay. Alright. So yeah, cutscenes don't flow nice. Inconsistent plot elements. Triple negative there. I gave a negative for Babylon 5 effect, because knowing everything actually makes the narrative worse, in my opinion. Especially the whitewashing of Osborne, but we'll get there. Triple negative for the repetitive elements. Ugh. The triple negative for external continuity, as I mentioned, both as good and as bad as good as it is bad. Cutscene incompetence is all over the goddamn place with this game. Oh my god. Ugh. The party size limitations. Ugh. Won the battle, lost the cutscene. That's another one that's all over the goddamn place in this one. The refusal to name characters for a good chunk of the game is really stupid, because it'll do so even when characters have already had their little name title card pop up. And that feels wrong to me. The excuse of the Great Twilight ended up pissing me off to the point of being a triple negative. Ugh. Consequence storytelling is all over the place and more about excuses than consequences. This game's plot is all over the place and it's honestly pretty bad. There is some bad world building, as it feels like an attempt to be deeper than it is. This is, of course, the whole isolated continent shit with that was told to us by Overlord McBurn. So stupid. So now we get into some characters. Yona is awful. Claire. Oh. This is where Claire is at her absolute worst. Right here. Here in Cold Steel 4. Because they're so goddamn wishy-washy with her. Like, they are beyond wishy-washy with her. Or to the point where I don't understand why the hell she is still siding with Osborn, as it just makes zero goddamn sense, and it pisses me off. So I gave her a triple negative. She will cause more, don't you worry. Gilbert sucks. In other news, the sky is blue. Moving on. Major Michael. I just feel like they didn't know what the fuck to do with Major Michael. So, yeah, no. Celine pisses me off again. Marquis Ballard pisses me off again. And then Schmidt pisses me off to the point of a triple negative. Which is funny because he's been in a lot of the, a lot of Reverie, and yet still isn't that bad. Ed. So all I can do is shrug. Then there's Elise. So Elise once again pisses me off, though not for the incest this time. Progress. But it's for the bad writing around her. Particularly of note is on the Pantagruel when Reen politely asks Grace not to hound her. Hound her, Gaius, and Ash. And she calls that being overprotective. Grace, Reen literally comes up to Grace and says, "Could you please not harass my, my sister, my classmate, and my student, Grace, please?" I'm pretty sure he literally says, "Please." And he's just kind of politely saying that. I know the idea is it's supposed to be in that arrogant back the fuck off of tone, but again, I don't feel like that's good writing. And that scene's not even voiced, so it's like, oh my god, fuck off. Or at least I don't think it's voiced. Whatever. Ever. It got me to the point where I literally said, fuck you, you little cunt. Oh, that's how that would work. There we go. Anyways, now the incest angle is of course also there, so yeah, no, triple negative because the incest angle is still there. It's like either you're sick of him being overprotective or you want to bang him. Fucking pick one. Preferably he's being overprotective angle, because I am so sick and tired of your entire characterization being in you wanting to bang your brother. You little whore. Ugh. Anyways. Wads. Okay. If you have no idea who the hell Wads is, he's the employee of Hugo that we encounter who's scamming people. He scams Parm, and then there's a side quest where he scams Ulster. Yeah. I hate him with a burning passion. Triple negative. I also gave Mayor Matham a triple negative. Negative for being a paint thinner guzzling dipshit. Paint thinner guzzling waste of my fucking time, as I put it. And then Hugo. Just... ugh. Yeah. Then there's a triple negative for Lecter, as his use in this game is inconsistent. In one scene, he is an irredeemable bastard, and the next, we're forgiving him for badly explained notions of him being a good person. Like, seriously, game, he's either evil or on the wrong side. Pick one. It's the same wishy-washy crap that pissed me off with Claire, so triple negative there. The opening scenes are... Now we get into individual scenes. The opening scenes are a goddamn slog. Like, the fact that I actually started to doze off while watching it is grounds for a triple negative. Negative. Like, are you fucking kidding me? They are so badly paced, these two. It's like, oh my god. I'd piss off. So yeah, triple negative there. I despise the dream sequence. I look at that's the one where Yuna, Kurt, and Altina are dreaming about going to school with the main campus students at the branch campus. That whole sequence is a goddamn giant waste of money, and I don't know why the fuck Falcom wasted their time and budget on that shit. It serves no goddamn purpose. Triple negative. And it's blatant that it's a dream, especially if you go straight from Cold Steel 4 from Cold Steel 3 like I did. And there are plenty of reasons why you would want to do that, so yeah, go to hell. No game. Ugh. Then there's a triple negative I gave on both the story and the gameplay axis. The excuse for why we don't have our stuff from Cold Steel 3 is that it fell out of their pockets. Sometimes I can excuse them not explaining it, or just or I can headcanon it away. Cold Steel 2 to Cold Steel 3, great example. Hell, even in Reverie, I'm not super pissy about it, because it's like, it's whatever, right? I'm just gonna leave it alone, you know? Oh, and I can kind of hand wave it away in both Reen and Lloyd's case, right? Hell, I can even hand wave it away in C's case. Nice. I almost gave that away. Whoa. Ugh, no, Alex, you're in the freaking Cold Steel 4 rating video. Ugh. Anyways. So. Oh, yeah. Triple negative for it just falling out of their pockets, because that's dumb. Yuna's speech to old Class 7. You know, it's awesome right up until the point you realize the game had to basically character assassinate old Class 7 to do it. I go on this whole tirade during the first session of why I hate that. I love and hate that scene completely, and I really do encourage you to go watch it. I should remember to post the link to the playlist, to the Cold Steel 4 playlist. So, yeah. Yeah, and then I also gave a triple negative for the character assassination of old Class 7. Evan, right? It's especially frustrating because they have lost Reen before, and it didn't make them lose hope this fucking hard. So, yeah, no, triple negative. So, I mentioned we'd be getting back to the opening. Well, here it is. This is the opening that I kinda hate the most. Now, admittedly, the song has grown on me, so it's more than just okay at this point, but whatever. It grew on me, but the problem is that it spoils the shit out of a lot of the early game, and I kinda hate it for that. Like, seriously, Act 1, the prologue and Act 1 combined should have been the prologue, in my opinion. That would have been fine, right? Well, actually, the prologue, Act 1, and the Fragments chapter all should have been Act 1. And then just make this a 3-act game. But that's beside the point. I would have been okay with that. Right? Whatever. Or hell, even make each individual lead into the operations be your chapters. But whatever. And then this, in my opinion, story-wise, is the worst intro in the series. No question. The pacing is sloggy and boring. As you know, dialogue is rampant, and the character assassination of Class 7 pisses me right the fuck off. So, yeah, triple negative. Not a fan of the St. Graal Labyrinth. Here's the note about how much I don't like Lecter's reason for siding with Osborn. I both like and dislike Lecter's reason for siding with Osborn. I don't know why I called him Arundel there. It's weird. I gave a double negative to the scenes leading up to the teleport or to the Black Workshop. It's really not that good, as it feels padded to hell and lasts about 3 minutes too long. And the cameos from Toa, Elise, Elfin, Tita, Tio, and Thomas, I feel like just are there for the sake of wasting time. You really did not need those cameos, right? You should have had the cameos be when when Reen was becoming whole again. That would have worked better, in my opinion, right? I also don't like the lead up to the fights with Angelica, with George, Angelica, and then the McBurn Stallritter combo. I feel like the pacing of that is just all over the place and stupid, and it kind of pisses me off. I also really don't like the final scene of the Black Workshop. Too much talking, too much cutscene incompetence, and honestly just reinforces the hatred I have for Claire. So, no. Not good. So, for those that are thinking I've been too lenient on Reen, well, here's your payback, because oh boy, Reen's attitude during the scene where they discuss the spirit shrines, that's a load of crap. After all the shit Class 7 went through to get him back, Reen is like, here, I'm just going to go myself. That is him insulting his classmates, and especially his fucking students. Bitch, did you learn nothing from Bryonia Island, you fucking twat? Like, fucking hell. I really don't like the aftermath of the fight with Claire and Angelica, and Claire is 1000% the fucking reason. Her loyalty to Osborn has made her a fucking hypocrite. As the game is holding a fucking gun to my head and telling me, feel bad for her. Actually, do I have one of my... Wait, do I have one of my toy guns? I do not. Oh well. Hell, I'm not gonna finagle with that just for a visual thing. But yeah, no, I just hate it. Ugh. Worst writing in the series, triple negative. Also, I gave us another triple negative for the whole Reen wanting to save her, as I feel like that role really should go to Una, but no, let's give Reen romantic feelings for her because he has to guzzle paint thinner when it comes to her. Yeah, fuck this fake pathos, triple goddamn negative for that. Like, I'm sorry, Reen, you have eligible women that all want to bang you. Like, every female character in this game basically flat out says is that they are in love with him, but no, he's chasing after fucking Claire. Which would have worked if you could have romanced her out of being with Osborn. being in Osborn's camp. But whatever. So speaking of stupid and bad writing. So Muse has this contingency plan in case the Pantric rule is compromised, and her contingency plan is sacrifice herself, Bardius, and Le Guin for no fucking reason on a doomed to fail gambit. I went off on this scene hard because of how fucking stupid this was. So yeah, triple negative. Also, you can call this breaking my rules if you want. I'll own up to it, but fuck the scene in general for making this seem like a tragically heroic sacrifice when it's nothing but bad writing. So I gave a triple negative to the scene in general, and the plan itself was a triple negative. I don't think that's breaking my own rules, but if it is, I apologize and I own up to it. I don't care. It's bad. The reveal that Oliver had survived the end of Cold Steel 3 would be awesome if it was half the length and wasn't so padded to fucking hell. It's too long, padded, and full of cutscene incompetence. Noticing a trend. Triple negative. Then I also gave a negative to the plot point of Viscount Arcee being under the control of the curse. That's just not a good idea, in my opinion. I do like that they're trying to play up the whole he's super strong and that's why the curse got him. But I really don't think it works. You know? If this was the end of Act 1 and not the end of Act 2, it probably would have worked, but as it stands, no. Just no. Then I also gave a triple negative to the farewells at the end of Act 2, as I felt that was entirely just too damn long because of, well, cast bloat. Let's just be blunt. Then we fast forward to the Gargantuan ship. The whole scene in the core. Oh my god. Oh, where do I even begin with this? This is another scene I went off on. It's stupid and a triple whammy of character assassination, namely Schmidt, Irina, and Sharon. Now, Sharon and Schmidt, not as much, but Irina in particular is really fucking... It's really fucking bad with her, as the scene makes her look like a completely brain-dead, paint-thinner-guzzling bitch who can't see the writing on the wall when she signed off on making weapons that will end the world. There's also zero sign she is even hesitating. So, yeah, no, fuck this scene. Triple negative. Also, as much as it would be an awesome scene, Irina telling off Alberic is not good. Mostly because... Excuse me. Mostly because it took her weeks to figure out that Alberic wasn't France. You're fucking kidding me. With how close you two are supposed to be? No, triple negative. Also, fuck the whole shit of her being against Alberic the whole time. That is just blatant retconning within the same goddamn scene. Piss off. Game. Ugh. which also leads to some blatant, if ironically small scale, Doctor Who syndrome. In other words, writers not understanding the concept of time. Like, I'm somebody who says a month is not very long, but I'm sorry, when you're that close to someone and they're acting differently, you should be able to tell immediately, and it shouldn't take you a fucking month. Maybe a week or two. Like, I basically said I would acknowledge it for like 2 weeks, if it was 2 weeks. But the problem is that 2 weeks is the time skip between Cold Steels 3 and 4. Yeah. Really hate that shit. Ugh. So, Wads' big plan to scam Ulster to build a factory. It was to build a factory, done through illegal means. And he thinks Hugo, who is onto his schemes, I want to add, will let him get away with it. Yeah, when you hit the magic reset button on a fucking character arc this hard, it gets a triple negative. Speaking of which, the takedown of Wads, which is just lame as fuck. Because honestly, it feels way too pat, with Wads suffering zero consequences for his actions, and no, his indefinite suspension does not count, as he should have been arrested for his actions. And I know the excuse. Oh, it's the Great Twilight's fault. Fuck you, game, for using the Great Twilight as your fucking crutch. Get a better crutch. And then Ulster assistance in general was just another example of padding, and got another 3 negatives. Fuck. Ugh. Which means just, if we don't count characters literally had 9 negatives added to the goddamn board just on the quest alone. That's awful. So here's my most controversial pick on this whole list. Rufus coming out of nowhere and ending Leanne feels wrong to me. On the one hand, it's a shocking moment, but on the other, Rufus has had zero presence since Act 1, and no, his cameo at the end of the Fragment chapter doesn't count. And then he shows up to be a dick. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. Then there's the opening scene of Eventide, which I just don't like it because it's dry as fuck exposition, and it just is like, oh my god, go away already. And then the scene right after with them erecting the barrier over Michelin. Michelin is equally overlong and just kind of boring. Then there's meeting with Claire during the Eventide. If you've sent her brother's harmonica to her, she actually meets with you during Eventide. And it continues the bullshit story arc with Claire and feels like such an ass-backwards scene. If I liked the Claire subplot, this actually would be an awesome scene. But since I fucking hate it, well, triple negative. Then there's the Elise romance scene. It's bad. The lack of Rain being voiced is at its weakest here, as he does most of the talking. The incest angle is its most vomit-inducing during this. And worst of all, this might be the absolute weakest performance Kira Buckland has ever given. I have heard Kira Buckland voice act. I know she can voice act. This ain't it, Chief. Okay? If you're actually honestly going to say that during the romance scene she didn't phone it in, all I'm going to do is cock an eyebrow and say, hey, wow, you really don't know good voice acting. Because I'm sorry. Alright. Okay. I could actually bow to somebody saying that, I forget her name in Diablo 3 was not phoning it in. And you know what? I could acquiesce to that. This? No. This is the worst performance I have ever fucking heard from Kira Buckland, and it's just, what the actual fuck? You know? Again, it could be the voice director's fault for all I know. And if it is the same voice director in Reverie, well, they got better. So, cool. Then there's the choose no one option for the final romance scene, and oh my god, it's the worst bit of banter in the game for me. It's not that funny, it's not that funny, it's not touching, and it's not interesting. It just leaves me bored. Triple negative. The scenes with when Operation Yormungand and Operation Mil Mirage start should be epic, but isn't because it feels like the budget ran out. And then more of it was squandered further, earning another triple negative. Like, seriously, like I said, there's so much shit you could cut from this goddamn, that they wasted their goddamn money on, right? This is why I rail against stuff like that stupid dream sequence. That didn't need to be there. Hell, the St. Graal Labyrinth didn't need to be there, if I'm honest. But whatever. The scenes that precede the boss fights in the Salt Pails are repetitive and frankly giant nothing burgers, with the sole exception being Aurelia's team, as that at least had some frickin' comedy to it. With Toval just being like, Jesus Christ, I'm working with some monsters here. You know? Also, fuck you, Gilbert, for ruining the epic approach to the Imperial Fortress. I also hate the scene right before the fight with Lecter and Claire in the Imperial Fortress. It just continues the wishy-washy writing of these two. And the scene after the fight isn't any better, as they both try to take the coward's way out and are basically just forgiven. It's just hand-waved away. You know, credit where it's due. At least there's Rufus basically giving a justifiable reason why they don't go to jail after all this shit. So some credit needs to be given. Not enough for a positive, but some credit does need to be given. I really don't like the line Reen thinks right before opening the final door, as I hate the idea of Reen considering Osborn as his father. Because it really just, this is how the game fucking whitewashes him. At no point has Reen ever considered Osborn his father. And frankly, the fact that he just now starts doing so in Cold Steel 4 feels like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And then there's the final clash with Osborn, which is just awful. Now Reen and Osborn see themselves as father and son? Oh, fuck you, game. Triple negative for that shit. Speaking of stupid shit, the normal ending, which the game forces you into, by the way, can fuck right off. You know, it's sad, but Reverie is actually doing something with this normal ending. I really don't like this ending. And also, you're forced to see it, and then go for the true ending before you can even get New Game Plus. God, I fucking hate this. Hate this crap. I also gave it triple negative to the use of Osborn. It feels like they've whitewashed him, and that just sucks ass. Yes. His weak as fuck redemption earns a triple negative. I also really hate the final scene with Osborn, as it continues the whitewashing feeling, and that's awful. Why the fuck does Ring C. Osborne as his dad? And I know I've said this multiple times already in these stretch of negatives, but no, seriously, why the hell? I'm not against him having two fathers, but the writing on that scene feels way too pat, and it is frankly dumb enough to warrant a triple negative. Also, this outro can go to hell. It's overlong, does way too much melodrama and whitewashing, and just feels like more effort than it's worth. Triple negative there. 185 negatives. Good lord, that is a lot. On to the gameplay now, which ended with a plus 27, which you'd think, oh, that's actually not bad. And it's not, but god, the gameplay is also all over the place, as we'll get into. So, I like the transfer bonuses, they're cool. Nothing from Zero or Azure, but I guess that makes a degree of sense. Music was a double positive, the save system was a triple positive for its multiple save prompts and the autosaves. Which I actually think I need to give Reverie now that I'm thinking about it. The log to re-read/re-listen to dialogue. Good cosmetic options, even if most of them are DLC. Which I gave 2 positives to. Core combat is once again a triple positive. The combat HUD is a triple positive. The and interface is a triple positive. I'm just going to barrel through these because a lot of this you've heard me talk about in Cold Steel 3. The link system is a triple positive. Rush and Burst got positives. Links automatically reforming on Revive is nice. Links formed even in enemy advantage, which is nice. The link level system is well handled again. The break system is once again a triple positive. The brave orders are a triple positive. The assault attack is a triple positive, and the button shortcuts are really good. Double positive. Double positive for the quality of life. I also gave a positive for the game, giving you a shout out and saying, hey, a section with a fixed party is coming up. So that's nice. Fast travel is once again a triple positive. Oh, and fast travel also adds some really good game flow from Act 2 onwards. Okay, I was like, huh? Did I really give 2 double positives? But no, the game flow is what that second triple positive is for. Some side quests giving you bonding points is an ingenious idea, and I wish the series had it much earlier than this. X multiplayers again. Minimap is a triple positive again. Varied party makeup yet again. Info in game name, which got 2 positives. I gave an enemy variety plus. Gameplay story integration. Good combat animations. I gave a triple positive just because I love the animations in combat. Which I probably am cheating with, but I don't care. I actually like them, and I have different ways to look at that because, I'm not. I do not claim any objectivity with my reviews, and that's why. So there you go. Spell effects were triple positive. S breaks makes as per usual. Good loot and itemization, which I had to combine this time because usually most of the time I just have to put them together, but honestly, yeah, Reverie actually got them separate, which is cool. Quartz are triple positive to kit. Master Quartz is a great class. Is a triple positive class system idea. Some good turn bonuses this time around. Retry offset it for its usual reasons. counterattack on miss, unbalance on counterattack. Fleeing is another triple positive. Enemies fleeing from you when you're too high level, and you can kill them in the field to save time. Resting in the hot springs restores everything fully, which is cool. Full HP on level up, cooking, fishing, both triple positives. Upgrading weapons. And this is then Nemesis Party. The fight in the tutorial dungeon against Alberic, Claire, and Maribel. I like that one. Trial chests are worth it for the upgrades to your orders. That's honestly kind of awesome. The mech battles were triple positive. The battle against Zector and Hummel. Hummel was great as a first mech fight. Gargolarius at the end of the second floor of St. Graal is honestly a fun and fair fight. Right? Poker got a plus. Arcadius gear here I like. So we're giving some S-Craft positives here. Arcadius gear, Belial Raid, Lethal Crusade, Northern Lightning, all got positives. The boss fight against Cedric Shirley and the two fuckwads from Class 1, Ada and Fritz. Despite the multiple turns problem, it's actually a fair and fun fight, weirdly enough. The mech battle against Testarossa in Act 1 is awesome. Even if there are some serious audio spam issues with it. What? Yeah. Some more S-Craft. Excuse me. Some more S-Craft. F1s. Justice Bullet, Gabriel Arrow, Radiant Phoenix Blade, Aeolus Saber. All cool. Palace of Ergion. I'm not usually one for the barrier S-Crafts, but that one was pretty good. Remedy Fantasia. Yep. Pom Pom Party Hurdy, because, yeah, I really enjoy that. I like Horror Coaster. I like fighting the two Zorg Soldats. That's in Act 1. El Prado in Act 1 was a good fight. The OZM Crimsons and the OZM Cobalts. Those were good fights. Celine actually got a positive to gameplay because she's actually an interesting approach to gameplay. Her attacks are counted as magic, her craft is useful, and she comes with these decent spells on her, so she got a positive there. Also, I like playing as Berserker Reen, as it's a good Hyper Beam moment in my opinion. Cross Rebellion is I like Cross Rebellion. I also like the battle with Berserker Reen, Celine, Crow, and Duvalie of all people against one Crimson OZM and one Cobalt OZM. I surprisingly liked fighting Angelica. I thought George was a good fight. Right? Angelica was a triple positive. George was one positive because he had some annoying quirks to him. And I actually liked fighting McBurn in the Stall Rear there, which was weirdly fun and challenging. And it was a good wake-up call as Berserker Reen carried that party through most of his section of the dungeon. Excuse me, combat-wise. So the challenge is honestly more than welcome. And it's still fair, so triple positive. I adore New Class 7 versus Berserker Reen. It's the best fight. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's the best fight in the whole game. No question, no hesitation. It's tense, it's frantic, it needs strategy, and is absolutely fair. While being properly hard. Fuck yeah, this is more like it. Triple positive. I also like the Black Workshop as a dungeon. Triple positive there. I actually like the fight against Osborne and Arya Road. It feels like an unfair fight, right? And it kind of is. But honestly, I proved that it is possible to get both of them together, because that if you're gonna get the bonus objectives, you have to get their HP. You basically have to concentrate your fire on Osborne for a bit, and then bring Aryan Road down, and then hit them both with an S-Craft. So, yeah. The trial chest containing the Trinity of Ipada. That was a fun and fair fight. Termination / Dusk. Really like that one. Demon Unleashed is an interesting risk versus reward version of Spirit Unification. I actually kind of like that. The battle against Crow and Duvali on Briona Island is actually a really great fight, as long as you don't neglect having healing items like I did. Oops. And no, my stupidity does not warrant a negative to the game. Not when it's that fair and I still manage that fight, you know. Valmor versus Ordine, triple positive, good callback to Gold Seals 1 and 2. Arachne Zigma, unlike the asshole at the end of St. Graal Phase 4, is a fair fight, as he tends to not spam his confusion move and he feels crafted to be taken down with just Reen and Yuna. That was another trial chest. Lone Rontis is honestly a fun and somewhat easy trial chest monster, so I actually kind of like that. I almost feel bad for it because Kurt was constantly counterattacking, and his Master Court raises the damage he does on counter, meaning he was doing around 8,800 damage, which was roughly 10% of the monster's HP. Yeah. Oh, and that's not even factoring in the follow-up damage, so yeah. The hordes of Kree-Pink sheep squads. It goes on a little long, but I kind of like it as a weird horde battle. I actually felt it was kind of interesting. You know. But yeah, I like the mech battle inside Cayenne Mansion. Weirdly enough, I actually like the fight against Claire and Angelica in Cayenne Mansion, like gameplay-wise. I hate it story-wise, but I actually do find it interesting. Tainted Stallion, Alien, that was actually a decent and fun side quest. Dreknor Fortress got a triple positive. I loved it on the gameplay axis. Same with fighting the 4th Armored Division, triple positive there. The mech battle against Alan during it was also a positive. And then there was the fight against General Craig and Nightheart. Despite the feint and seal fetish that they have. Yes, they get 1,000,000 turns, but that somehow doesn't feel cheap. The tools at your disposal for this make it an exciting and hard as fuck fight. But since it's the good kind of hard, triple positive. Okay, I'll admit it. Rosenberg Roundup is a decent quest. The boss fight is piss easy, sure, but the clues require a little thought without it being stupidly obtuse. And excuse me. And it was a nice twist on things. Means that Belle was taking us for a ride instead of Blue Blanc. Omega Impulse was another awesome one. Love Tita, so of course her thing's gonna get a positive. I liked fighting the Mordred, ditto the Hannibal. The infiltration of the branch campus, I love that entire section to bits, triple positive. The fight with Maribel, Shirley, and Campanella is actually well designed, and I enjoy it. That one's on the Pantacroll. The Bath and the Courageous got a triple positive for restoring HP, EP, CP, and BP. EP. And assault points. Just, yeah, hot damn. Yeah, triple positive. Positive for that. You know? Despite my grievances, the fight with Vita and the Luna Shrine is honestly a well-designed fight. I also like the battle against Aurelia, and I like the fight with Rosalia and her Burning Sphinx form as much as I get frustrated by it. I like the 2v2 fight between Elise and Angelica versus Elise's old club mates from the lacrosse club in Cold Steel's 1 and 2. The mech battles against Leviathan is an absolutely intense and challenging fight. I like the fight with Leonidas in the Draco Shrine, even if I don't like his recasting. I like the fight against Zeno. I like the fight against Rutger. Which is funny because Zeno and Leo were easy fights, but Rutger was actually fun but hard, interestingly enough. Valimor Nardine versus Zector, another awesome mech fight. Fighting Gilbert at the end of Operation Free Aaron is weirdly fun and satisfying as hell, and that fucker brought a fucking tank. Damn, man. And why can't all Jaeger fights be like this? Valiant Charge, Una's second S-Craft. Honestly, enough said. It really. Persistent Study is another quest. It's where you play as characters that never join the main party, and the fight feels crafted and well designed. Good stuff. Gemini Judgment. Love. I love that Kurt gets gets a S-Craft that's a callback to Mueller's S-Craft from the Sky Trilogy. Really good. Galaxia Volley. Another good one. The fight with McBurn and the Radiant Blade Master is honestly a great fight, though I still despise the concept on a story level, but whatever. Vorpal Slayer. Enough said. Argion. Standard for the mech battles. Positive there. Reen's battle with Berserker Reen in his mind to unlock Breaking Dawn. Great demonstration of gameplay story integration. And it's also interesting as a puzzle boss, because in order to defeat it, you basically have to go through each of Reen's crafts. So that's cool. Breaking Dawn. Speaking of which, Breaking Dawn is also another awesome S-Craft. So there you go. Loa Phantasma is downright therapeutic after all the shit Loa Erebonia and Loa Lucifrea gave me in Cold Steel's 1 and 2, respectfully. La Medea Scylla seems like it would piss me off with its tendency to inflict nightmare, but honestly it wasn't that cheap, even though I was using the SSS to fight it. This was during the side quest where we go to Crossbell, and because of the missing persons report, which I actually also gave a triple positive to the quest in general. So I left Una and Reen in reserve, and I fought it with the SSS, and I still had a blast. That's a sign of a good fight right there, if you ask me. In fact, the whole missing person report quest. This was a well-crafted quest that reminded me of the Crossbow arc, but in a fun and well-designed way. I like it. So much so, I go ahead and give it 3 positives. Because I kind of wanted to play Azure after that. Not even a joke. I'm just going to remove this word right here out of that, because that is not an optional fight. The mech battle against Alan in the final chapter. That was good stuff. The fight against Argyris, as I mentioned in the story thing, was really good. It was fair and a great test of your skills. Hell, he manages to even not be cheap with status effects, as he inflicts them, but rarely. Yeah, this fight was a triple positive, easily. Bewitching Blood Moon was another positive. Necrovarius, another fun battle. Especially considering the team that fights it has so many impede moves, is that it becomes funny. Rebellion Storm, Rakshasa Onslaught, Solaris Bringer, Yeah. Fighting Shirley and Cedric in the Imperial Fortress. That was a cool fight. The mech battle against Testarossa was a triple positive. The mech battle against El Prado was another triple positive. The mech battle against Ishmelga was a triple positive. And I also liked Ishmelga Ogre and Ishmelga Loge. Hey. Also, this game has good New Game Plus and good viscerality. 213 positives. God, that's a lot. God, yeah, there's a reason why I want to review smaller games, because, you know, at least then, and I'll be able to, I won't have, you know, rating videos this goddamn long again. Jesus. On to the gameplay negatives now. Oh, because 213 being shrunk down to 27. Oof. So, the DLC is like it was in Cold Steel 3, which is 3 negatives, 2 for the DLC itself, and 1 for the cosmetics being mostly DLC. Yes, that bugs me, especially when it asks me for $60 for a complete set. Which, thankfully, Reverie avoids. It's like the plague, so... yeah. Limited bonding points. It's another thing that continues to bug only me. 2 walkthrough-itis negatives. Auto battle once again sucks. The rapid fire nature of the tutorials was another triple negative, and honestly, the tutorials in the prologue were a triple negative, and the tutorials in general were another triple negative. So yeah. I don't like returning characters having a limited craft pool. Well, I felt like it kind of sucked. So, yeah. No balancing is not an excuse, since the moves can be tweaked to be balanced. Which is probably a triple negative I'm going to have to give Reverie, if I'm honest. The first tutorial dungeon would honestly be fine if you could turn your tutorials off, but you cannot. Gameplay-wise, this is, again, the worst intro in the series, in my opinion. So, triple negative, especially for this being supposedly the storyline's grand finale. There's the excuse for the not having my stuff. The hand-holding tutorials in the St. Graal Labyrinth are awful, as this series is doing this in the finale. Why? Then we get to this one. Okay, so the game makes you go through the hassle of being weakened down to level 28, only to jump us 20 levels after one boss fight. The fuck is even the goddamn point of that? Yeah, just start us at 45 and cut out the goddamn middleman. What the hell? Ugh. Which is also the first of several padding issues, so triple negative to both pacing and padding on the gameplay front as well as on the story. Alright, so yeah. Oh, and then the pace-breaking need to talk to NPCs when all you want to do is shop. Which, funny enough, Reverie actually ignores, weirdly enough. Gee, it's almost as if they finally learned their goddamn lesson. Triple negative for grind, as I honestly feel like this is one of the grindiest freaking games, and there's nothing to circumvent it. Which is hilarious, because there is grind in Reverie. But it's not that bad of grind. Like, at all. Right? Also, the pricing on equipment and upgrades gets very ridiculous as weapons get up to 9k too quickly for my liking, causing more grind. With upgrades especially bad, as bigger upgrades ask for 30 plus or even 90 plus U materials. Good fucking lord. Ugh, there's some backtracking issues, there's some bad camera use in combat. The Great Zenzu is a bad quest monster. As positioning, and its obnoxious attacks, it's all ads, and its ads can cause you issues. Enhanced pisses me off yet again. Triple negative. Fuck bosses recovering from break quickly. Another triple negative. Triple negative for the status effect fetish. Then I also gave a negative for seal in particular and confuse in particular. Accuracy and evasion negatives to a tune of triple negative. The fight with Stone Dominia. Cheap bosses. Hate it. Obnoxious enemy placement, which got 2 negatives. Trash HP being way too high to the tune of 3 negatives. Bosses having too much HP, which was another triple negative, with trial chests and optional cryptids being especially bad. And way too many insta-cast capable assholes. Where they will start charging and then immediately get to cast their spell because the turn thing immediately lets them cast. It's like, fuck off. Also, some tougher enemies are really not worth it, which is actually a problem that's avoided in Reverie yet again. I hate the fight with Gilbert in Act 1. Really not good. The game punishes you for needing to take advantage of the retry offset. That pissed me off. Triple negative. Also, I really don't like the Zephyr fight in the Hummel. Cheap, high HP, and Rutger and on high HP on Rutger, and the fight overall feels cheap with the 35 turn time limit if you want the extra whatchamacallit. Yeah, not a fan. So, there it is. Okay. Traversal got a triple negative. So, yeah, just no. The difficulty curve, triple negative. Hated the difficulty curve in this one. Power progression curve was a double negative because, oh my god, I feel like it's just wonky throughout most of the game. I hated fighting Lilith Dominia. Triple negative there. Railroading to the tune of a triple negative. 3 audio spam negatives, because good lord, this game's audio spam is real. Blackjack XRNG. Ugh. Really hate the quest fight against 6 level 70 graded 8 Abyss Worms. Gee, that sounds familiar. The fight against 3 Genixic Clowns in Geofront X, that's an annoying fight. Nebrius Dominia, another instant cast asshole. Benu Nucleus can fuck right off. The stat downs out the ass, status effects out the ass, and way too much HP. Triple negative there. The fixed camera angles in Michelin was just, yeah, that was a viewer suggested one, by the way. Hey, same with the camera in combat. For the record. I really fucking hate the fight with Campanella, Electra, and Sharon. God, I hated that fight. St. Girl Phase 4. I really don't like that entire floor. It can go to hell. And the fucking spider asshole, Arachne Graya, can also piss off, as that one gets a triple negative. Boss design in general also got a triple negative. Panda Sage. I hated fighting that thing. The Trinity of Runaway Sheep. That trial chest got a triple negative. Vantage Masters. Okay, I feel like Vantage Masters throws you into the thick of it way too much. Right? It feels like it doesn't flow nicely, right? And admittedly, Reverie has the same problem. But the problem is that there's a shop with a whole bunch of good cards. Is that if you go buy those cards, you can actually build a halfway decent deck and try again. So Reverie actually takes that into account, right? So I have to acquiesce to that, you know. But no, Cold Steel 4 Vantage Masters is triple negative. Plain and simple. I gave 2 negatives to the bonding event battles as I just feel unfair and unnecessary. So, yeah, no. Their outcome literally only changes a bit of dialogue. That's it. The trial chest with Jeweled Czar, or Jeweled Par, and Jeweled Or, that's another fight that got a triple negative. Negative for their confusion fetish. The Rainbow Drum trial chest. God, fuck that shit. And then fighting Jaegers and the Hercules units. God, I hated doing that. Triple negatives for each. Triple negative for Einhell Keep level X, because good lord, that entire dungeon was just a test of my patience. The fight with Lecter, Zeno, and Leo. Leo is kind of unfair if you like S-Crafts, and Lecter's Disorder and the status effects really don't help with that assessment. The fight with Cedric, George, and Rucker can fuck right off. Status effects and a million turns for them all adds up to a full 3 negatives. Those are the Pantagruel fights, by the way. Ugh. Yay, more fucking tutorials in Act 3. Yeah, triple negative for that crap. Sayla Kiji Moonman. And yet another status effect loving asshole. All with instacasts. The Grail Locket should not be required to make a fight tolerable. And that's what had to happen. Ugh. So, Rosalia may fight fair in her Burning Sphinx form, but she still loves her... Excuse me. She still loves her status effect, status effect and instant death moves. She got a positive and a negative. Dimension Destroyer is a DPS race. This is a quest monster. Oh my god, I hate this fight. It's the worst example of a DPS race I have ever seen. He constantly resets his break gauge in every turn, with every turn when his countdown starts, and it is essentially him entering his enhanced state, meaning you either break him, kill him before the timer hits 0, or get fucked. I hate that fight. Triple negative. Inea in the Stella Sanctuary is, in my opinion, a bad fight. 2 stages with the adds in round 1 having way too much HP, even if Laura wrecked them with an S-Craft powered by Lone Blade and Domination for over 73k damage. And then Inea herself has ridiculous HP. She also loves hitting you with Confuse and Petrify. And she has HP regen. Yeah, not a fan of that fight. 2 negatives there. Ines is way worse. Not because of status effects and ridiculous speed, no. but because he keeps lowering my stats while going invincible constantly. Ugh, it was a waste of my goddamn time, triple negative. The ground combat with Aryan Road. Oh, good lord, cheap as fuck. Constant steal and stat downs. She loves to spam turns on you randomly, and her enhanced mode that heals her for 50k will add up to pain. Triple negative there. Not a fan of fighting Lecter and Claire in the Imperial Fortress. More status effect fetish bullshit. The fight with Maribel and Campanella in the Imperial Fortress only has the music going for it. Everything else sucks about it. The multiple turns, the status effect fetish, in addition to Campanella's a fetish of trickery and assholery. Excuse me. Which can all fuck off. Triple negative there. I don't like the Overlord McBurn fight. He has the HP and burn fetish. He has way too much HP. He's got that stupid burn fetish, and he's really cheap about it in this game. In Reverie, he's not. Not in here. Oh god! And don't even get me started on that scripted ending. Ugh. I also don't like the final dungeon. I find it to be overlong and a waste of my goddamn time. Each round of fighting Osborne got a triple negative, because I fucking hate all 3 rounds of this shit. Okay. So yeah, I hated the fight so much. Status effects, knockback, and healing for 72,000. Ugh. I don't get why some people think this is a good fight. I really don't. Ugh. So then there's the triple negative for locking the true ending behind beating the normal ending once. That can piss off. New Game Plus being locked behind the true ending. That's another thing that pisses me off. If that was a triple negative. Ishmelga Aura is one of the 3 forms of the final boss fight, which I didn't much care for. I gave a negative for having to reload your epilogue save to see the post-credit scene, which is so stupid. And then I gave the outro in general a triple negative. Final dungeon sucks, the ground fights with Osborne suck, and the game pussyfoots around you getting the true ending, even if you've earned it. I really hate this outro, and feel it is the worst in the series. Triple negative, to the tune of 186 negatives. That was a lot. But that's it. That, my friends, is Cold Steel 4. Final thoughts. Cold Steel 4 is a mess. Let's just be blunt. Is it bad? No. Is it bad? Well, no, not really. The final score was net positive. Did it have some things that frustrated the fuck out of me? Yes. Did it have a lot of narrative issues? Oh, hell yes. Did it have a lot of things that just didn't work? Hell yes. Did it, is there good stuff on display? Yes. I'll be honest with you, if the gameplay wasn't practically a carbon copy, if a lot of the bad boss design and status effect fetish crap still was present, but the skeleton of the gameplay of Cold Steel 3 wasn't here, this game would be substantially worse. It would be a game I would never touch again with a 10-foot pole. Never touch again, ever. You know? But, in the interest of fairness, I will say I probably would enjoy this game on a second run. I would. Do I think this game is worth a playthrough? To see how the story ends, yes. But honestly, I almost kind of wish the ending had gone differently, because this is not a very good ending, in my opinion. It's got some good moments, it's got some cool elements, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't work. But I will say this much. I have a complicated love-hate relationship with this game. I do. And I will own up to that fact. Will I ever play this game again? Oh, probably. But it's not a game I will be rushing back to. You notice I didn't give a replayability plus, right? I didn't give a replayability plus to this game because I don't feel like I would ever want to replay this game. And that's the problem for me. There are elements of this game I love. There are sections of this game that I would love to set up on a New Game Plus run to just have them as sections I could play through again. But as a whole, no. I don't think I'm ever going to touch this game again. Not really. I wish I could say I liked this game more than I did, but I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed my thoughts. And, well, from the perspective of when this goes live, the VODs of Reverie are going to start going live on Monday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until next time, Blue Wolf Hogs the Lore Walkers, signing out. Later. This song is awesome.